Scattered in thoughts and a lack of clarity in your head as a man, and the mind's really taking over. Well, today I want to talk about how you can touch base with the heart a lot more. So, welcome to my men's mental health podcast for today. I decided to talk about this because earlier I got into a really heart connecting place that actually I knew I had to talk about this today. And it was so beautiful, very emotional, and I was able to make my decisions a lot better. And when I've got into that heart centered place, I don't feel lack, I don't feel loss, I don't feel fear. I can just feel love. And it is difficult, I'm going to be honest. Like in this day and age where we got pressures, we got stress, external events happen. We live in a social media age where there's a lot of comparison and things to influence us. So being in the heart, I found a very difficult thing, especially when I've had setbacks. Yet it's one of the most empowering places I've ever reached. And I've certainly experienced it after some deep transformational events. Admittedly, though, I've not always kept it going. More often than not, haven't. Been able to feel in that high because it kind of drops after a week if you don't manage it properly. Like say you go to like a Tony Robbins event, maybe a Danny Morel event, or a deep centered retreat, whether it's plant medicine or something like that. And then you come out of it and you're like, I love life. But then obviously you got to go back to life. So it's all about integration, I've realized. And it's something I've definitely been working on, about how you make it part of your life. And for me, that is routine. That is like habits, because obviously you got to do your day-to-day stuff and live life, and things will come up. So for me, putting in processes to the heart is really, really key. And earlier, and I know when I've struggled, I've definitely been in the head, thinking it through, and that's the worst place because it's very analytical. Now, you need your head sometimes to formulate plans, and obviously the survival part is useful when you're in a real life or death threatening situation, of course. But often our mind can make up stuff. I don't know if you found that as well. When we're not in real life or death danger, we're just worried about what other people think about us and those kind of things. But when I'm connected to the heart, that gets me into the most beautiful, empowered leadership for myself and others state of place. State of place? I don't know what that phrase was. State, anyway. So, yeah, what I found is just listening to the body a lot more. Paying attention to what your body's saying, not what your head's saying. So I'll give an example. I had to make a decision out of a couple of opportunities I've got coming up. And the mind was like, yeah, go for both of them. Do as much as you can so you can really maximize your revenue and income. And I was like, okay. But then I really started doing something earlier and it connected me to the heart, and it was my writing. And I was like, I must, I know, and the heart knows, I have to focus on finishing this book. Even though a book is not necessarily, certainly in the short term, the best way to make money. But the mind's like, let's maximize the money. And my heart was like, you need to finish this book. Now, obviously, practically, I have to earn money, and I do earn money anyway. So like, if you were just like, I'm going to write a book when you were broke and had no other job, obviously practically you would need to do that, but that's not the case with me. I was just thinking about how I could maximize so I could earn a bit more. And that was my mind. When I got into the heart and feeling, that was key. So what I would suggest is what has really helped me is paying attention to your feelings and not the head. The head's going to make up stuff sometimes to keep you alive, to keep your survival intact. But you have to have that conversation sometimes in the mind and be like, this is not life or death. And actually, let's feel into what we want. And I also find that being in silence with myself every single day, even though it's uncomfortable, and it's got less uncomfortable over time, has really helped me because I can listen to that quiet voice, which is my heart. The heart doesn't shout either. The mind can be very loud. If you allow yourself some silence, things in your body and your heart can really allow themselves to be heard a lot more. And the body carries a lot of emotion. So I would suggest 1, listening to body, and 2, finding some silence for yourself. And then number 3 is just breathing into the heart. That's really, really helped me. Earlier, I felt a lot of anxiety. I think it was from a lack of sleep of a few things I just had in the last few days. So I started to do some breath work. I was breathing into the heart, and I started to get quite emotional. I've been emotional a couple of times a day, which is really good because I feel like I'm releasing. And when you breathe into the heart, it really allows you to connect to the heart a lot more. So if you can live in the heart, I would suggest doing those exercises if you want to live in the heart a bit more. Because that really knows. And then use the mind. Once the heart knows what it wants, you can use the mind to make plans. Use the heart as the leader. Allow that silence, allow that quiet, and then allow your mind, your smart mind, to follow instructions to make things happen from the heart, rather than your mind going, we need to do all this, and then being in survival mode. So that's what I really wanted to share with you today, because when I listen to my heart, that's when I connect emotionally with myself and others the most.